Why play Zac Jungle? Well, he's one of the best engaged champions in the game. His ganks are incredibly effective. You force your opponents to ward differently and via many more places than usual. And you're also very tanky and hard to kill. However, many other junglers will out 1v1 you, and heal reduction does reduce your tankiness pretty badly. For Zac's passive, each time he hits an enemy with an ability, he drops a glob, which he can then pick up to heal. In addition, when Zac dies, he splits into 4 chunks which try to reconnect. If these chunks get killed before they reconnect, Zac dies. But if they do reconnect, Zac comes back alive with health proportionate to the amount of health left on the chunks. In addition, Zac has a hidden passive where his model shows as larger the more health he gets. Zac's Q throws out his arm which deals damage, slows, and attaches to the first enemy hit. Zac's next auto attack then gains range and applies the same damage and slow. However, if you hit a different target with this auto attack, you knock them both together, and if they physically hit each other, they both take the damage again and are slowed again. Zac's W deals AoE damage in a small area around him. Each time you pick up a glob, it reduces this ability's cooldown. Zac's E causes him to charge up with a large cone in front of him. He can then click this to launch himself to that area. If Zac hits an enemy, they are knocked up and take magic damage. Zac's ultimate firstly has a passive where Zac heals more from the globs he drops. The active on the ultimate makes Zac bounce 4 times. Enemies hit are knocked up and damaged the first time, and if hit by multiple bounces, they take half damage and not knocked up again. For Masteries, there's a few ways to run him, but this will always be solid. For build order, start Blue Knife and Refillable. Get early boots before building your Sunfire. After that, you're building full tank. So into AD build these, into AP build these, and if there's a lot of both, you can always default to Gargoyles and Warmogs. For skill order, start W, then Q, then E, before maxing E, then W, then Q, taking ult whenever you can. For summoner spells, take Flash and Smite. Starting your jungle, you're looking to farm up to level 3 so you can start ganking. However, if you keep farming to level 4 or 5, that's absolutely fine. Every extra level in your E extends the range of your jump and makes your ganks more effective. While doing this, you always need to consider 3 main things. Firstly, what's the best lane to gank? Think about your opponent's mobility and your own team's CC. Secondly, what lanes are pushed or being pushed? It's much easier to gank someone who's pushing your laner, but you need to be careful with your timing on this. Your laner will not thank you if you gank when they've got tons of money under their tower which they're now going to lose. And thirdly and finally, you need to consider where the enemy jungler is. If you've got a lane hyper pushing, maybe you should try to ward for them or farm nearby so you can counter gank should their jungle look at the push lane and decide to gank. In addition, at this point in the game, most enemy junglers will out 1v1 you, so if you do get invaded, just back off until your team can back you up. Entering the mid game, you're looking to make picks by engaging on champions, typically from places where they would usually think themselves are safe. Your E has ridiculous range, so you can gank from Fog of War quite often. This allows you to do things like go from a buff into Dragon or Baron Pit, and even start in Chickens or Pixel Brush and go deep into the mid lane. So just keep looking for these picks and silly engages and turn them into towers, dragons and barons. During late game team fights, your job is often to be this tanky engage. A Zac engage knocking up their backline, followed by your ultimate knocking them up again and bouncing them around is a crazy amount of disruption. In addition, try to grab the high value targets with your Q for even more disruption while spamming out your W. You are here to be this annoying wall while your team destroys them.